Hey you guys, this is Ron RC here. Now this is also another installment in the RC How To Beginner Series, or the RC How To series. We're going to talk about where to go to buy RC parts. Now, at first I was going to do this all in one video. I'm going to split this up into several pieces. So I'm going to do the online websites, what I like about some of these websites, and then I'm going to do the walk-in hobby shops. So I'm only doing hobby shops in relation to RC parts. I'm not doing hobby shops in relation to any other aspect, whether it's whether it's slot cars, trains, BB guns, because some hobby shops do sell BB guns as well. I'm not doing none of that other stuff. Models, none of that. We're just talking about RC. So let's begin with the websites that I trust the most and recommend the most. First website I trust the most, recommend the most, is Hobbytown USA. I'm going to give we're going to do the 1 out of 10. Actually, no, we're going to do 0 to 10. There's some websites. There are some websites out there that deserve 0, but I'm not even going to talk about those websites. Now, Hobbytown, you get a decent 8 out of 10. That's right, because Hobbytown's website is well stocked. They have things on their website after the actual manufacturer stops manufacturing that item. So that's another thing I like about Hobbytown. They will every once in a while have discontinued stuff. For instance, Tamiya constantly discontinued stuff. HPI recently discontinued a lot of stuff. So that, and reason why they get 8, because the prices are okay. They don't have a full selection of, per se, like RPP hobby, which I'm also going to get into later on, or RC4WD. They do have stuff from RC4WD, but one of the problems is navigating. Navigating through their website is a little difficult, and to boot, their website is a little glitchy. Very, very glitchy. So that's why they get 8. I mean, the pricing, like I said, the price is not too bad. The pricing is pretty fair. It's pretty fair for the items you buy on their website. So they're not gouging you. So their online store gets an 8. Now I want to talk about another hobby store that's online. They also have a walk-in store, but this hobby shop actually is best for walking in. Hobby Hut. They also they actually get a 7 out of 10. Now the reason why I say that, because unlike Hobbytown, their selection is a lot smaller. They don't have a lot of stuff on their website that Hobbytown has on theirs. Now their website isn't as glitchy, but their website is also hard to navigate through. Finding things, specific things, I've had trouble doing it. And like I said, they don't put everything that's actually in their walk-in store on the website. And I feel like as if that's really hurting them. Next, I want to talk about Tower Hobbies. Tower Hobbies is a part of Hobby Co. So if you notice, they won't have any Spectrum, Ventura. They won't have anything from Horizon Hobby. Losi, for instance. You're not going to find that there. You'll find HPI, Traxxas, RC4WD, Robinson Racing. You'll find that at Tower Hobby. So that's why Tower Hobby also gets an 8. once again, just like Hobbytown, they have very fair pricing, extremely fair pricing. So, and they have a decent amount of stuff. They got, like, they're connected with Axial, Duratrax, which you see. I got a couple of Duratrax berries. I didn't buy these from Hobbytown. I didn't buy these from Tower Hobbies. I got them from Hobbytown. Actually, everything but this one came from Hobbytown. This actually came from Hobby Hut because it came with my Slash. But that's another video. So next is RC Planet. RC Planet, I give them their web. Now I haven't bought anything from their website, so that's automatically going to take a point away. And once again, their pricing is kind of the same as Hobbytown Towers. So I'm going to give these dudes on the fly an 8, which is very good. In fact, no. You know what? No, I'll take that back. I'm going to give them a 9. Why? And I never bought anything from them. But their website is really easy to navigate. It's extremely easy to navigate. You don't get lost in the sauce when you going through the website. And it's not glitchy. So I have very few to little problems with them. And you can make a shopping list with them, and literally it'll be there for 3 months after you made it. And then you can come back and just, like, for instance, I actually go to RC Planet. Now this is one of the reasons I never bought anything to them. I'll print out a shopping list of things that I want. I would take it to Hobbytown Bishop Pike, and I'll show them, like, hey, these are the parts I'm interested in getting. Can you get me these parts? It's either no they can't or yes they can. More than often it's yes they can. So RC Planet gets a 9 for their selection and ease of navigation. Horizon Hobbies. They're going to get a 7 for the same reason Tower Hobbies got. Oh, no. They're going to get an 8. My bad. Sorry, you guys. They're going to get an 8 for the same reason that Tower Hobbies got its 8. Once again, actually, I was actually thinking about giving them a 7, but they do have a decent amount of selection on there, and they do have a decent amount of lipos for a pretty fair price. I wouldn't say it's extremely cheap. It's not Hobby King cheap or Value Hobby cheap. And but they do. It's a big company, so you do get some decent quality. Now I don't know what their warranties is on there. That's another thing. So I know, and once again, another site I never bought stuff off. I actually use this site the same way I use RC Planet. But once again, if you're in the market for RC parts, you might want to check Horizon out, at least online. And another store I never shopped at, but I only, once again, use them to print stuff out and bring it to my Hobbytown. A-May Hobbies. Now, from what I know, they're located in California. I know Hobbytown is located everywhere. Hobby King does have warehouses that you can pick up, but we're going to get to them. They're not going to like what I say. But A-May Hobbies, their website is somewhat easy to navigate. Once again, me not buying stuff on them, I can only give them an 8 just for that. I would give them a 9, but I never bought anything from them. Value Hobby, which I mentioned not too long ago. Oh man, what should I give them? I'll give them a 7. And I'll tell you why. Value Hobby has a beautiful selection. No, they have a crappy selection. I was talking about beautiful. They have an ugly selection. But what they do have is cheap stuff. Really, really cheap stuff. Cheap lipos, cheap landing gear wheels. For instance, they got landing gear wheels for $2. $2 for some of these wheels. And some for like $4. I mean, the most expensive ones I think I've seen was $9. Don't quote me. But their stuff is pretty expensive, but their selection is like they're almost like the Walmart of the RC industry. They're literally like an online Walmart for RCs. Now RPP Hobby, I have bought stuff from them. I give them a 9. And I'll tell you why. They have parts on there for a reasonable price, and one thing they like to do is they have what we call RTR kits that they part out. So they take an RTR kit, open it up, take stuff like, for instance, stuff that people might want, like myself, who... This is a... Let me show you this RC car body. See, when you take one of these and you mess up on it, like you see these holes right here. Now these are this is the Traxxas holes right here, but these were the SCX 10 holes down here. Messed up on that. Went to RPP Hobby. And I bought one of these. See, look at that. Nice and finished. Now, of course, I do plan on cutting this body up, but the good news is it's already been painted, so I don't have to spend extra money on paint. So, and you could also get wheels like this. So their selection's good. Once again, just like Tower Hobbies and Hobbytown USA, their pricing is pretty much similar. Their selection is pretty much similar. Their selection is pretty good. Now, the reason why Hobbytown and Hobby Hut, and then you got A Main Hobbies, they have stuff from Hobby Co. and from Horizon. So that's why I like those websites. Now we're going to talk about the bad. These are the bad, or the cheapo website. I wouldn't really necessarily say bad, but I would say they put more of an emphasis on things being cheap as opposed to things being good. Hobby Parts. Hobby Parts and Nitro RCX. Man, they... Whoo! Now, if you notice, they're also part of Hobby Wing and Exceed RC, and they're also a part of Banana Hobby. So all that seems to be like one big snowball of BS. Now, Banana Hobbies, they do have some unique planes there, but I never bought anything from it. But I give them also a little score, because even though they do have some unique, nicely done EDFs there that are really good looking, they're expensive. They're expensive for the fact of the matter that I never heard of you before. To me, you have no reputation. And then, you know, they get a lot of... Apparently, they must have gotten so much bad press or flack from angry customers that they actually talked about it in one of their videos. Yeah, nothing instills confidence in you, in your customers, than talking about how your bad customers are so angry with you. Woo! Yeah, so their whole shebang, I give them a 5. Mainly because, like I said, now they got a pretty decent pricing. Their stuff is pretty cheap. They got some of the cheapest pre-glued on-road tires that you could buy. I actually bought a pair. I bought 4 pairs and about 2 of each vehicle. I mean, set of rims, because, you know, I bought 4 of one rim type and tire type. I bought 4 of another rim type and tire type, and 2 of the 4 had this problem where the tire came loose. Like, it's still glued on to the rim, but the actual tire itself has this line going through, this perfect line going through, where it's like the fusion of the tire gave out. So that's why I give them a 5. And the fact of the matter that they do have some good stuff. Genza's berries, they're really not that bad. I recommend if you do see them on sale for a pretty significant price, get at least 3. Get at least 3 of those Gens Aces. I do love my Gens Ace. it has not been treating me bad. Now, no, I'm comparing my Genzasis as a 40C to this guy, which is 25C. But needless to say, I have dropped both this and the Genzace past 3.20 volts, and both of these guys kicking strong. Actually, I noticed this guy is actually putting a little bit less of a fight up than the Genzace is, but I have abused this one a lot more, so it's pretty understandable. Now, like I said, they sell garbage like this. You see one of these? What is this? The FS-GT3B? I don't get it. This thing requires 8 batteries, and it sucks up the energy pretty fast. This is garbage. I bought 2 of them with 2 receivers, and I made the mistake of waiting a year before actually using it. You can't return after a year. I'm not even going to expect them to do that. That's completely unreasonable. And the thing doesn't work, so. I mean, it still works, but it doesn't work the way it should. And for instance, when I go through, I try to change some of the settings have a problem changing. When you're doing the trim, something's wrong with the trim. I don't know, maybe I gotta go through another setting, but I just got so mad with one of the things going haywire that I'm just not doing it. I'm not dealing with it anymore. If somebody knows where I could get maybe a firmware update, I might give the thing a chance, but other than that, I'm going to be selling it. I'm going to be selling it for cheap, way cheaper than what I paid for. So, and another problem, I don't know if I mentioned this one yet, Nitro RCX and Hobby Parts is with a Z, not S. They have a issue with keeping their stuff in stock. And I noticed the Genzaces have been going up in price. You got a bad reputation, you can't go up in price unless somebody's doing something wrong with the math when it comes to handling their books. And I think somebody's doing something wrong with the math. Genzace, they're like I said, they got the Genzace and Sky Lipos. They're out of stock on a regular basis, and they're not even that cheap. Value Hobby has way cheaper lipos, decent C ratings. Now, I must admit, I never tried one of the Value Hobbies out yet, but I do plan on trying them because, like I said, they're extremely cheap for the performance that you get, at least the performance that's down on paper. And I actually have heard some YouTubers say some decent amount of stuff about. Now, the next RC company I would like to talk about is Hobby King. Oh yes, Hobby King is your turn. Let's talk about Hobby King. Cheap stuff, cheap lipos. They have probably the cheapest lipos next to Value Hobby. The best selection of cheap lipos. They had, like, selection wise, they run over Value Hobby very easily and very hard, and they do it all day. Like, got some cheap lipos in here from Hobby King. Now, my local Hobby, they may be a little ish, but this little guy was under $5. I think the other guy in here, I think this one starts getting stuck. This guy, this little one cell was under, I think this was $2. But they like, that's why I got a whole bunch of them, because they were cheap. And I'm cheap. And these little one cells, I really don't have. I bought them for some helicopters that I had, and I never got a chance to put them on the helicopters because I really don't feel like going through and checking the center of gravity So one of these days I might just go in Hobby Town and have one of those guys just solder that. But like I said, they got some cheap lipos. Problem though is be careful with Hobby Town because stuff is cheap, quality is bad. So I'll give Hobby King a 5. Oh yes, you get a 5 out of 10 because your quality sucks. Price is great. Now if the prices, if their quality was bad and their price was bad, they would be going down to a 3 automatically. So I'll give Hobby King a 5. I don't care if they hear this. Like y'all do nothing for me. Like I got this battery for from you guys. This Zippy thing cost me $50. The price was actually 43 or something. Balance ports are bad. Not to mention, look at this. And then look at this. This is a Traxxas shaped plug. This is not a Traxxas plug. This is an actual Traxxas plug. Good job, Duratrax. Okay, this is actual Traxxas. You see that TRX? That's an official Traxxas plug. That's what they look like. In fact, let me show you your official Traxxas battery. Guess who also has it? What's this? This is some cheap imitation stuff. I'm mad about that. I mean, you know, I'll give it some credit. It had good runtime. That was it. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is, and you know, I also give them a little credit for the fact of the matter that, look, you know what? I can't give Hobby Wang the same one I give. No, I'm going to be merciful. I'm going to be a little merciful. I'm going to upgrade them to a 6 because they have a lot of FPV stuff. They have a decent amount of FPV stuff. The only thing is, I don't even know how good the quality is. So since I don't know that, I'm just going to give you a 6 for now. Now, will I still buy stuff from Hobby King? Yeah. Well, I recommend Hobby King. Not as much as I used to. Because when I first got this, I was recommending Hobby King like crazy. Not anymore. Not anymore. I'm telling people, approach with caution. I'm telling people, if you get a battery from Hobby King, don't worry about what plugs it come with. Rip them off and put your plugs on there. That's what you're going to need to do. But they do have some decent equipment at Hobby King. So, and like I said, they do got a lot of cheap stuff, but beware of it. Now, the FPV stuff is not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Their planes, cheap. FPV systems they got, they're not cheap. Some of their quadcopters, they do have some of the cheapest quadcopters next to Value Hobby and quadcopter accessories and whatnot. You know, they got the KK2 board and all that type of stuff. I do want to try that out one of these days. But I'm giving them a 6 for now. Now RC. Now let's move on because we're getting a little bit high in the time. RC Mart is what's next. RC Mart is similar to the next one I'm going to talk about, which is the next hobby shop I'm going to talk about is Asia Trees. RC Mart, I'm going to give them a 5. Or should I give them a... No, I can't. No. Well, I never bought anything from them. But they do have a decent selection of RC bodies. They got Yokohama RC. They even got some X-Ray stuff. They got a lot of foreign RC companies. Now, some of these companies, like X-Ray, I heard good stuff about X-Ray. So, I mean, a lot of the kits they have, but the only problem with them is the same problem I had with Nitro RCX, which is stuff is out of stock too often. Too often you go to the website, stuff is out of stock. Some stuff costs a little bit too, like, this stuff is cheap, But then you get to get ready to buy something, and the shipping fee is outrageous. So you lose a point for that outrageous shipping. Navigating their website, it's not the best. It's okay. So RC Mart gets a 6. Now let's hurry up and talk about Asia Tree. Asia Tree, like RC Mart, they both carry stuff from Top Cat and Boom Racing and GPM. GPM is probably the best stuff that Asia Trees and RC Mart has. Now, Asia Trees, I give them a... I'm trying to think, what did I give them? I'm not giving them an 8. I would actually be nice to them and give them a 7. Even though I've bought stuff from them that has failed on me, but I haven't bought extremely expensive stuff that has failed on me. And another thing is their prices out of the cheapo website stuff, their prices are pretty fair. The quality from stuff that I bought from them is pretty decent. Now I know they get their stuff from the same place that I think Hobby King sometimes get. Now Top Cat and Boom Racing, I mentioned them a second ago. They are a company that's very similar to Entergy. If you look at Entergy's website, at their accessories, and then you look at Top Cat's website and their accessories, they look exactly the same. You can literally go to your website, take a picture, not tell you that it's from either which website, and you would think that, oh, this thing is the same. So, be careful of them. Like I said, you get what you pay for. But one of the reasons why I like Asia Tree, and another thing one of the reasons I like they got GPM. Now, they do have a warranty with GPM, but it's a crappy warranty. They don't cover hardware that comes with. I actually read the website's warranty, and let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. This is my Slash. You notice there's 2 different types of axles on here. There's a black one that's plastic, and there's a silver one that's steel or chrome, wherever you like to call it. What happened with this one is that the hardware that keeps this piece into this piece popped off. 2 pieces. They were really small. Really, really small. Popped off in the street when I was doing a 3S run. Now, I have no real complaints with these parts other than Fatmare. Their warranty does not cover stuff like that. It only covers this main part. It doesn't cover the things that keep this main part onto this part right here. And it also kind of covers this part. And the part goes out to the wheel. And luckily they do have a kit that I could buy that's $11. Well, I shouldn't have to do that. So, and like I said, I give them also some credit for the Fatmare. They have parts for RCs that are discontinued. They got aluminum parts for my TL01 right here, you see in the background. That thing's discontinued, but they have parts for it. They got aluminum parts, they got steel parts. Some of the GPM parts, I would stay away from some of the GPM's aluminum parts, like the things that goes into the, what is it, not the dog bones, but the thing that attaches the dog bone to the outer wheel that allows it to hang on and also move. That part, I bought a couple of those that are aluminum. It actually ended up getting destroyed by the plastic. The plastic destroyed metal. That should never happen. That's some low quality aluminum right there. Now I do got GPM on my SCX10. Fine. Except for the steering link that I bought. that gave me tow on my SCX10, and I don't want any tow on there. So Asia Tree gets a 7. So this video is 30 minutes, and I think I covered all the online places to go and buy RC parts.